Dating an INFJ, introverted, intuitive, feeling, judging, can be a deeply rewarding but also complex experience. As one of the rarest personality types in the Myers-Briggs system, INFJs are known for their emotional depth, intense empathy, and strong intuition. While these traits make them compassionate and devoted partners, they also come with unique challenges that potential partners should be aware of. Understanding what it's like to date an INFJ can help you decide if you're ready for the emotional connection, intensity, and complexity they bring to relationships. INFJs are known for their profound emotional depth and intensity, making their relationships unlike any other. When an INFJ falls in love or forms a deep bond, they do so with their entire heart and soul. They don't approach relationships casually or half-heartedly. They fully immerse themselves in the emotional experience, often striving for a deep, meaningful connection. This intensity can be both a gift and a challenge. INFJs experience emotions in layers, often diving deep into their own feelings and those of their partner. They crave emotional intimacy, seeking to understand not just the surface emotions, but also the underlying motivations and fears of the person they care about. This makes them highly empathetic partners who are attuned to their partner's emotional state, sometimes even more than the partner themselves realizes. However, this emotional intensity can also feel overwhelming to others. INFJs tend to overanalyze every interaction, looking for deeper meaning in words, actions, and even silences. They may obsess over whether the relationship is evolving the way they hope, whether they are being fully understood, or if their partner is as emotionally invested as they are. This constant evaluation of the emotional landscape can be draining for both the INFJ and their partner. For an INFJ, emotional connection isn't just a preference, it's a necessity. They thrive in relationships where their emotions are validated, where they feel deeply understood and appreciated for their unique inner world. But because INFJs give so much of themselves emotionally, they also expect a lot in return. They may become frustrated if they feel their partner isn't meeting them at the same level of emotional depth, or if their partner is more reserved or detached. This need for emotional depth can sometimes scare off potential partners who may feel they cannot meet the INFJ's expectations. INFJs may also struggle with feelings of loneliness or being misunderstood if their partner isn't as emotionally expressive or introspective. They want a relationship where both parties are fully engaged emotionally, and they may withdraw or become disillusioned if they sense emotional distance. Ultimately, the emotional depth and intensity that INFJs bring to relationships can create an incredibly fulfilling and profound bond, if their partner is willing to dive in with them. For those who can handle the complexity and emotional richness of an INFJ, the relationship can be one of the most rewarding experiences of their lives. However, for partners who prefer more lighthearted or less intense connections, the emotional demands of an INFJ may feel overwhelming or stifling. INFJs also have to navigate the challenge of balancing their emotional intensity. They can sometimes get so lost in their feelings that they forget to step back and evaluate the relationship objectively. Their passion for emotional connection can lead them to over-idealize their partner or the relationship itself, setting unrealistic expectations. When reality doesn't match their idealized vision, they may feel disappointed or even betrayed. In relationships, INFJs need partners who can appreciate their emotional depth and engage with it. But they also need to remember that not everyone experiences emotions in the same way. Learning to moderate their emotional intensity, communicating openly about their needs, and allowing their partner the space to express emotions in their own way can help create a healthier and more balanced connection. INFJs can spot inauthenticity from a mile away. They're highly intuitive and value honesty and openness in relationships. If you're hiding something, even if it's just your true feelings, they'll likely sense it. INFJs are repelled by superficiality and insincerity. So if you're going to date one, you must be willing to show your true self. That being said, this need for authenticity can sometimes create friction in the relationship. INFJs may push their partners to share their thoughts and emotions more than they're comfortable with, or they may become frustrated if they feel their partner is holding back. It's important to recognize that INFJs value vulnerability and connection above all else, so being open with them is essential for the relationship to thrive. For INFJs, small talk is often seen as draining or even meaningless. They have little patience for surface-level conversations that don't contribute to a deeper understanding of life, the world, or the people around them. What INFJs truly crave are meaningful, thought-provoking discussions that allow them to explore profound topics, from philosophy and spirituality to human behavior and societal issues. When engaging in conversation, INFJs naturally steer away from shallow exchanges and prefer to dive deep into subjects that matter to them and those around them. This desire for depth isn't limited to their own personal interests. INFJs are just as invested in understanding the perspectives, thoughts, and feelings of others. They are excellent listeners and often draw out the more private or intimate thoughts of those they converse with, creating a space where deep, insightful conversations can flourish. These deeper discussions are vital to how INFJs connect with people. They seek relationships where both parties can engage in intellectual and emotional conversations, feeling that this exchange of deep ideas and thoughts is essential for bonding. Conversations about the deeper meanings of life, personal struggles, dreams, and aspirations fuel the INFJ's curiosity and provide the kind of fulfillment they seek in their relationships. INFJs value these exchanges because they are constantly seeking to understand the world and their place in it. To them, a conversation isn't just about sharing information. It's about discovering underlying truths and making sense of complex emotions and ideas. Whether they're talking about personal experiences, dissecting abstract concepts, or analyzing human nature, INFJs view conversations as a tool for gaining insight and wisdom. This preference for deep conversations can sometimes make INFJs seem intense or hard to approach for people who prefer lighter, more casual interactions. INFJs may struggle in social situations where the conversation remains at a surface level for too long. They can become bored or feel disconnected when they don't have the opportunity to explore more meaningful topics. As a result, INFJs are often drawn to friends or partners who enjoy intellectual or emotional depth as much as they do. In romantic relationships, this need for deep conversation can be both a strength and a challenge. INFJs bond through words, and having meaningful discussions is one of the main ways they feel close to their partner. However, if their partner is less interested in or capable of having these kinds of conversations, the INFJ may feel unfulfilled or misunderstood. They may find themselves asking, "Does my partner truly understand me? Or are we connecting on a deeper level?" On the other hand, when INFJs do find someone who matches their depth, the relationship can be incredibly fulfilling. These conversations become a way for the INFJ to explore their emotions, clarify their thoughts, and share their inner world with someone they trust. The INFJ's ability to talk about complex topics with emotional and intellectual clarity makes them a captivating conversationalist, especially for those who appreciate thoughtful, introspective dialogue. However, it's important for INFJs to recognize that not everyone processes the world in the same way. While they may crave deep discussions, others may need time to warm up to this level of intensity, or they may prefer to engage with the world in lighter, more immediate ways. Learning to balance their desire for deep conversation with their partner's communication style is crucial for maintaining healthy and fulfilling relationships. In the end, for INFJs, conversations are a way of building emotional and intellectual intimacy. Through deep conversations, they feel seen, heard, and understood. This connection is essential to their well-being and their relationships, making it one of the most important aspects of how they relate to the people in their lives. Despite being empathetic and compassionate, INFJs are introverts. They require plenty of alone time to recharge and process their emotions. Don't be surprised if they need regular breaks from social interaction, even with you. This alone time isn't a sign that they're pulling away or losing interest. It's essential for their emotional well-being. If you're someone who needs constant connection and interaction in a relationship, dating an INFJ might be challenging. It's important to respect their need for solitude and to trust that they'll return to the relationship more grounded and emotionally available after taking time for themselves. INFJs are known for their perfectionist tendencies, and this can spill over into their relationships. They often have high standards for themselves and their partners, which can create pressure in the relationship. INFJs may idealize their partner or the relationship itself, and when reality doesn't match their expectations, they can feel disillusioned or frustrated. If you're dating an INFJ, be prepared to navigate these perfectionist tendencies with patience and understanding. They're not necessarily looking for a perfect partner, but they do want to feel that the relationship aligns with their ideals and values. Open communication about expectations and needs is crucial to avoid misunderstandings and to create a realistic foundation for the relationship. One of the most admirable qualities of an INFJ is their immense capacity for empathy. They're often the emotional rock for their partners, offering support, understanding, and compassion. INFJs are highly attuned to their partner's needs and feelings, and they will go out of their way to make sure you feel seen and heard. However, this can also lead to issues. INFJs may neglect their own needs while focusing on their partner's well-being, which can lead to burnout or resentment if the relationship isn't balanced. It's important to ensure that both partners are contributing emotionally to the relationship and that the INFJ's compassion isn't taken for granted. INFJs are purpose-driven individuals who are always striving to make a positive impact on the world. This sense of mission can sometimes take precedence over their personal relationships. They are likely to choose a career or cause that aligns with their values, and they may prioritize this purpose over spending time in the relationship. If you're dating an INFJ, it's important to understand that their sense of purpose is a core part of who they are. Supporting them in their mission and giving them space to pursue it can strengthen the relationship. If you're able to align with their values and support their goals, the bond will grow even stronger. INFJs often feel like they live in a world where they don't quite fit in. This fear of being misunderstood extends to their relationships as well. They may worry that their partner doesn't truly understand them on a deep level, which can lead to feelings of isolation even in a committed relationship. This fear can cause INFJs to hold back emotionally, fearing that their partner won't be able to connect with their deeper self. It's crucial to show an INFJ that you're willing to put in the effort to understand them, even if it's difficult. They value partners who can see past the surface and engage with their inner world. The more you demonstrate that you're willing to listen and understand, the more secure they'll feel in the relationship. For INFJs, trust and loyalty are the cornerstones of any meaningful relationship, whether it's a friendship, family bond, or romantic partnership. These two values are non-negotiable for INFJs, who deeply invest in their relationships and expect the same level of commitment in return. Because they are highly sensitive and introspective, they need to feel safe and secure with the people closest to them, and trust is essential for creating that sense of emotional safety. INFJs tend to approach relationships with caution, taking their time to open up and let others into their inner world. They are naturally private and selective about who they allow to see their deeper, more vulnerable sides. This cautiousness stems from their fear of being hurt or betrayed, as INFJs can be particularly sensitive to emotional wounds. Once trust is broken, it's incredibly difficult, if not impossible, for an INFJ to rebuild that bond. This is why they value loyalty so highly. When an INFJ feels they can trust someone, they offer their full emotional support, becoming an unwavering presence in that person's life. INFJs are incredibly loyal, often to a fault. Once they've committed to a relationship, they will go above and beyond to protect, nurture, and support their loved ones. Whether it's offering a listening ear during difficult times or standing by someone through thick and thin, INFJs prioritize loyalty and expect the same level of commitment in return. However, INFJs' deep need for trust and loyalty can also make them vulnerable. Their highly empathic nature means they sometimes give people the benefit of the doubt or remain loyal to individuals who may not deserve it. They may hold on to relationships longer than they should, fearing the emotional toll of severing ties, even when their trust has been violated. INFJs can struggle to walk away from relationships where loyalty has been one-sided or where their own needs aren't being met. If you want to date an INFJ, be prepared to go deep, emotionally, intellectually, and spiritually. INFJs expect depth in all areas of life, from conversations to commitments. They don't do things halfway, and they're looking for someone who's equally invested in building a meaningful connection. Shallow relationships or fleeting romances won't satisfy an INFJ. If you're willing to dive into the depths with them, dating an INFJ can be incredibly rewarding. They offer a level of emotional and intellectual connection that's hard to find, and their loyalty and compassion make them devoted partners. However, if you're not prepared for the intensity and complexity they bring to relationships, it might be best to think twice before dating an INFJ.